Guys, give me 2 seconds and we get rocking and rolling. Okay, look, guys, when I do test reviews, they're very, very unstructured. I am really just wanting questions from you now that you've had a chance to hit the homework. And I'm okay with going over everything. Remember this, there's really 3 topics, right? There's introduction to functions, which has a lot of parts to it, but that homework is really going to what it's going to look like. So introduction to functions. Then there is solving systems of equations, either by graphing or by the substitution. And then what we went over yesterday, simplifying exponential expressions. So if you don't ask questions, it's going to be a really quick review.
I was having issues with number 43 on the homework.
Is the 1.7, 1.6, which one?
1.7.
Okay.
I don't know what I was doing wrong.
Yeah, I got you. What page is that on?
62, I think.
Okay. I'll trust you. See what happens. Nice. Yeah. So number 43, you said?
Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good one. So if we look at this one, we've got 3x to the 5th over 6x to the 4th raised to the 4th power. Okay. Now, I'm going to pick on you a little bit, Amanda, because there's just so many ways to answer this. Remember how I kind of talked about that yesterday, like how you know, my brain might think different than your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So where does your brain go first for this one?
I'm going to multiply the exponents.
Okay. So if we do that, we got to multiply them to all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get 3 to the 4th over x to the 20th over 6 to the 4th over x to the 16th. Okay? Then what does your brain want to do?
I don't know. That's where I got stuck.
Okay. Well, let's just simplify the x first, because the x's aren't bad here, right? We've got 20 on top and 16 on the bottom. So that means I've got x to the 4th up top, right? Because you subtract. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Now, you're right. I wouldn't have done it this way, and I'm going to show you what I kind of think is a little easier way to do this, because we get stuck here with these humongous numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 to the 4th is huge, and then 6 to the 4th is huge. And you've got that calculator I told you guys to buy. You can kind of look up. It'll simplify fractions for you. You'll have to just look up online. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'll let you do that independently, okay? But I'm going to show you kind of a long way to do this by hand, because it's such a big number. And the long way to do this by hand is to think of what this actually is. I'm going to do it underneath here. 3 to the 4th is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, right? Now 6 I know is 2 times 3, right? So really what I have is 2 times 3 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 3. Okay? Right? 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. And then I'm going to bust out the red Sharpie and just cancel all the 3s out. 3 with that one, this one with that one, right? And I'm left with, now nothing's on the top, so it's 1. But then I'm left with 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 16, right? So this winds up x to the 4th over 16. Now I'm going to show you what I would have done first, Amanda, for this one. And typically overall, I guess I just didn't hit an example like this one, but typically overall, I'm going to tell you there's kind of an easier way. You deal with smaller numbers. I'll say that. If you do it this way, I'm about to go over, for this type of question, you'll deal with just small. You won't get like this huge, whatever 6 to the 4th is. That's crazy with that. 36 times 36, yeah. Big. Okay, so I'm going to start this over and kind of show you how we can get to the same answer. I guess they're mowing right outside my window. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but hopefully it'll stop soon. Okay. I would simplify what's inside the parentheses first. Okay? And it's mainly because that 4 is such a big exponent. I mean, raising something to the 4th power is a big exponent. I know 4 is not a big exponent, but I mean, 4 is not a big number, but something raised to the 4th is a big number. So I'm going to simplify what's inside there first and then raise everything to 4. So if I did that, I've got x to the 5th on top and x to the 4th on bottom. That's going to leave me with just 1x up top, right? And we know 3 over 6, that's really just 1/2. So I'm going to write it as x over 2, right? Or if you want to write 1/2, that's fine. And then I'm going to raise it to the 4th power. Can you guys hear that? Okay, it's just me. Okay, that's fine. And now I'm going to raise it to everything to the 4th power. Oh, it's obnoxiously loud in my office right now. They got to work, though, just like I've got to work. Okay, so we raise the top and the bottom by the 4th power, and we get x to the 4th over 2 to the 4th, and 2 to the 4th is just 16. And it's the same answer. Okay. Did that help, Amanda?
Yeah, I think my brain wasn't working right last night.
Oh, it's okay, and it happens. And I'm telling you, and I did go over this last time. Remember, I said, like, there's just a lot of different ways to do this. And a lot of times, well, almost probably every time, honestly, if you're raising something to a power, but there's a fraction on the inside, it is worth it to simplify, see if you can simplify this fraction. Because then when you bring in the exponent, it just keeps the number smaller so you don't get these huge numbers like we did up there. And I think every example I did yesterday, I don't think I did that. So I'm glad you brought that up. It's a good question. This is a good question from 1.6. It goes over it goes over the quotient rule, and then it goes over the power rule. I mean, it's just a good example. Okay. Any other questions? Comments, concerns? Okay, how about this? If there's no more questions, I'm gonna give you, and I'm gonna pull maybe some examples out of the book that I think are a good review, and I'll choose ones that you know the answers. That way you can kind of treat it like a test. Okay. Now I'm not gonna go over today. That's for you. It's kind of like, I hate to say it's kind of like extra homework, but if one of the ways to prepare for a test, of course, is to kind of make your own test. So I'm going to kind of make a test for you, and then you can do that over after you get your homework done and just see if you're prepared for this test. So first, and it's going to be out of order because our sections really were out of order. But from 3.6, I'm going to go to, actually, I'm going to go to, there should be a review page. Yes. Okay, this is, it's a review on page 259, and this is for 3.6. Okay, these are questions from 3.6. It's on page 259. And I would do, oh, well, it's actually on the next page. Hold on. So let's say 263, actually is where it starts. I would do 63, 64, 65, 66. And these are all good. Hold on. Let's just be lazy. Let's say 63 through Ooh, I'm going to go over one thing here before we get started. But let's say 63 through 84. Oh, no, I lied. That's why we didn't go over it. I'm sorry, guys. 63 through 74. I'm going to get a cleaner piece of paper. This isn't bother me. Okay. So for 3.6, which remember was an intro to functions, on page 263, I want you to do 63 through 74. Those would be good examples for a test. And then chapter 4, or really we just went over 4.1. Let me get to the review in the book for 4.1 to see what I like and what I would probably put on a test that I made already. Chapter 4, highlights. Okay, here we go. For 4.1, which was solving system of equations, actually, they don't do an example I do like in that review. So let's first, I'm going to dig a few out of the homework. On page 284, numbers, let's say 1, 3, this is so you have the answers, 1, 3, and 5. And then flipping over to the review, so on page 331. Now, the questions ask you to solve each equation in two variables by each method, graphing, substitution, elimination. And I want you to do graphing and substitution so you can see that they get the same answer, okay? So each one of these, I want you to work two ways. So really each question is going to have, like I'm asking it twice in a way. You can see that on page 331 if you flip over there. But number 1, 2, and then let's say 4. 1, 2, and 4. And then 1.6 and 1.7, which should be lumped together. I told you in the new edition, like there's an even newer edition now, she finally lumped these together, which makes complete sense. Okay, 1.6 and 1.7. Let's see here. 5. Oh, there we go. This is on page 72. And I'm going to say, start. There we go. Number 1, this is 113 through, now this is going to have a few more because these are kind of quicker. You know, it's just simplifying. Ooh, no. Almost got this one pretty. 113 through 126. And then flipping over to 1.7, 133 through 146. Okay. So I would treat those, if I was studying for this test, I would get the homework done first. And then once I had the homework done, I would work these and kind of treat it like a test. Okay. Treat it like I'm sitting there and I'm going to take a test. And however I do on this is kind of how I'll probably do on the test when Mr. Shirley opens it up today. Okay. Any questions? Okay. I mean, a few just housekeeping things. Remember, Monday, we are not meeting. It is Labor Day. I will not, guys, I'm not going to have office hours today and Friday because I've got to study for these comprehensive exams. If you want to meet me, though, at a different time, just holler. If you have a quick question, just let me know. I don't mind going over anything. It won't be in my office hours today or tomorrow. What else is goofy? Oh, that first test. One of our kind of Blackboard IT guy on campus is attempting to find it, and I am groveling, to him, saying, "Please, Dave, please find that test." I will keep you updated if we can't find it. It's not the biggest deal if we can't. It'll be more of a bigger deal to study for the final. So if we can't find that test, I'll make sure to create a test so you can look back at it, so you can study for your final later on. Okay. Are there any questions, guys? I know this was only 15 minutes, but it's a review, and I hate that I made you wake up for it, for a review. But I guess moving forward, I need to be upfront that if we have another review day, which these won't happen that often, it's really going to be about you asking questions, okay? Because I could lecture for 3 hours on this stuff and not fill it all up, okay? So it's going to be based on where you're stuck, and trying to get us to all understand everything, okay? Any questions? I'm going to wait right here because I know sometimes it's hard to get to the mute button.
I got a question, Mr.
What's up,
Shirley.
bud?
All right, so when is this test gonna be due?
Oh, it's like every week. It'll be due on Sunday at the end of the day.
Sunday.
Yeah, every test we have in here, except probably the final. The final will be a little different, but we'll get there when we get there. But I open it up on Thursday. I believe I set it for 9:30 today to open up, and then it's opened until midnight. You've got an hour and 15 minutes to take it, which is a regular class. And once you start it, you have to finish it. That's the main thing. So once you start it, you have to get done. And it's just like the last one. You took the last one, right, Jarrett?
Yeah. I didn't know if it was gonna be the same structure
Oh,
like
yeah,
last
same
week.
structure. I keep it the same. I mean, it's not. It should look exactly the same as the last one, just different questions.
Okay, thank you.
And no problem. And if it doesn't, if something crazy just email me and let me know. I might not be able to help you over today or tomorrow, but don't freak out. If something happens, don't freak out. We'll handle it. Okay. That's not just to you, Jarrett. That's to anybody. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? If not, I'm gonna end this meeting. It'll be quickly up on Blackboard. Okay. I'll see you guys. I'm gonna stop this meeting.